Here we are on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and we are at one of the places where Tim Williams first took me when we came up here to go motorcycle riding. And I thought it'd only be fitting to start this memorial video out with a shot of Tin Cup up here in the mountains. We probably are at about, I'm going to say 9,500 feet. Of course, this is an old gold mining town up here in the Chalk Creek Canyon, which is just west of Buena Vista and a little south also. But we are here in Colorado, kind of as a memorial to Tim for this trip. Have some of the places that he took me and showed me as part of our friendship that we had together. So once again, this is Tin Cup, Colorado. At another spot here along the road on the way up to Tin Cup, or actually San Elmo, I'm reminded here of the beauty of the Rocky Mountains and what Tim was able to show me as far as being able to find out about this region. Didn't really know too much about it or the beauty of it. But Tim brought me out here and took me around this area after he had been out here on his BMW street bike, I think, if I remember correctly. But here you can see the beauty of the Colorado Mountains, of which Tim enjoyed so much. And this wonderful lake down here. Once again, we're in Chalk Creek Canyon. But just a fantastic area, and Tim introduced it to me. And it just reminds me somewhat of the beauty that Tim had, of his appreciation of the world and the nature that we've got in it. But just a beautiful, beautiful spot. Come around over here to the road and you can see where we used to ride, just jeep trails that used to go up into the mountains. And of course, you can see that a few aspens are still turning as we're getting here fairly late in the season. But once again, this part of the beauty that Tim brought me to understand. As these waters rush down the mountainsides, get the bigger waters and make their way on either to the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean. Stop here for just a moment among aspens to enjoy this cute little bubbling stream as it makes its way through the trees. Walk on over this way and I'll show you another place where Tim introduced me to. This is the road that takes you up to the top of Mount Antero. We'll go over here and check out the sign first. I don't know how long of a road that it is, but I'll tell you what, it's one of the roughest roads I ever rode out here in Colorado. And once again, Tim introduced me to this. Looks kind of easy and simple right here as you first start to walk up it, but as it goes on up, it just gets tougher and tougher and the rocks get bigger and bigger. But to me, this trail or road, whatever you want to call it, kind of showed me the toughness that Tim had as he faced life and how he was able to overcome things and was able to live a life that was full. But so many times we face obstacles like these in our lives and we can't overcome it. But Tim was able to make his way through life and still have a smile on his face. On many of the trips that Tim and I would take here to Colorado, of course, part of the reason that we came was for the aspens. And here, as we actually get on paved road, you can see the beauty of the aspens plus so many other bushes that are in bloom, or not in bloom, but the leaves are changing now that it's into the fall season. And of course, this reminds us so much of our own lives as we get into the fall and winter seasons of our life. Tim definitely had gotten into that part of his life, and I'm sure as the beauty of these leaves show us, also the beauty of Tim's life came through also to us as he got older and a little bit slower, but also a little bit a deeper person.
Horses are creatures who worship the earth. They gallop on feet of ivory, constrained by the wonder of dying and birth. The horses still run, they are free. My body is merely the shell of my soul, but the flesh must be given its due, like a pony that carries its rider back home, like an old friend who's tried and been through. I had a vision of eagles.
As the waters tumble and crash down this mountainside with the foam and the white in the water, it reminds me so much of Tim and his life. What a sparkling personality that he had, how bubbly he was. It was impossible to be around Tim and not be happy, as Tim always had a story or a joke or something to tell you about an experience in his life or something that he knew or where he'd been or what he was going to do. As the winds blow and the snow flies, eventually, life comes to a stillness. Maybe tiny ripples, but generally, life is still. And so we all come to that in the end. Much here as the waters of Chalk Lake show the reflections of the aspens. We think of Tim as his time has come, and he rests now in the hands of the Almighty. God's country. Right now the temperature 33 degrees as we look to the range of mountains to the west. The road over here that comes up from Tenka. Then back over here. This is also the Continental Divide, so everything that goes to the west goes to the Pacific Ocean. Everything to the east side of this goes over to the Atlantic Ocean. Tim, a lot of great memories, lots of fun. Everybody's going to miss you. I know that Mary, Logan, Roanna, the grandchildren, everybody are truly going to miss your presence here on this earth. But as sure as the sun rises and the sun sets, we all have the time where it has to come to an end. And by golly, you're going to get to have a good place to spend the rest of eternity right here. Thanks for the memories, Tim.
You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again. Come, let me love you, let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter, let me die in your arms. Let me lay down beside you. Let me always be with you. Come, let me love you. Come love me